Before listen, lock your door.
Subscribe for daily horror story.
First story.
My grandfather used to say, if you see someone walking backward in the woods, don't call out to them. They're not walking away from you, they're leading something toward you. I never knew what he meant. Not until last fall it started, with a simple hike. Just me and my buddy Jeremy. We were out for the weekend, chasing the last of the fall colors along an old ridge trail deep in the western Appalachians. The kind of place that never makes the tourist maps. Overgrown, untouched, beautiful. The air was sharp and cold. Every tree burned red and gold like it had been lit from inside. We set up camp a few miles off a narrow trail, no other hikers, no service, just silence and wind. That first night was peaceful to peaceful to peaceful, but the next morning, something was wrong. There were footprints all around our tent, bare, human, and facing the wrong direction, heel to toe, like someone had been walking backward, circling us while we slept. We stared at them in silence for a long time, then followed them. They led off into the trees. No drag marks, no animal signs, just those inverted steps carving a line deeper into the woods. Jeremy wanted to turn back. I didn't. We followed the trail for nearly an hour. That's when we saw him, a man, maybe 50 yards ahead, walking backward, one slow step at a time, arms limp at his sides, clothes hanging off him like they didn't fit. His head twitched, jerking, slightly like he was listening for something behind him. We didn't move. I made the mistake of whispering, "Hey." He froze, didn't turn, didn't speak, just stood there, facing away from us. Then slowly, he tilted his head all the way back farther than a neck should bend, until we saw his face, upside down, staring right at us, smiling wide dot to wide. Then he dropped to all fours, still facing us, still backward, and bolted sideways into the trees, like an insect. We ran, didn't speak, just tore through the woods back to camp. When we got there, everything had been moved, not stolen, just rearranged. Jeremy's boots were filled with dried leaves. My sleeping bag was turned inside out, and in the center of the tent, a small pile of bones, clean, tiny, tied together with twine, like a totem. We packed fast, didn't wait for sunset, didn't talk much on the way out, just the sound of our boots and the crack of twigs underfoot. Thought we were safe once we hit the gravel road, but halfway down, we passed another hiker. Wool coat, backpack, looked normal. He smiled at us, nodded, except Dash. When I turned around to glance again, he was walking backward, not stumbling, just smooth, controlled, like it was the only direction he knew. And behind him, deeper in the trees, saw shapes, not clearly, just shadows, some standing still, some crawling, all facing away. And yet I swear they were watching us. We didn't sleep that night, didn't talk about it after. Thought maybe it was exhaustion, paranoia, something we imagined. Until I woke up back home, middle of the night. My bedroom window was fogged from the inside, and pressed against the glass was a bare footprint, facing the wrong way. Next time you see someone walking backward in the woodstone, call out. Don't follow. Don't even look too long. Just turn around and walk the other way. Because some people aren't walking away from something, they're leading it to you.
Second story.
My uncle once told me, if you ever find a cabin in the woods with no path leading to it, walk away. Especially if the windows are facing the trees, not the trail. I used to think he meant old moonshiner shacks. Now I know better. This happened last October. I'd planned a solo backpacking loop through a quiet stretch of national forest near the Kentucky-Virginia border. I wanted isolation, time to reset before winter, test out some new cold weather gear. The first day was perfect. Clear skies, crisp air, leaves turning fire orange and blood red. The trail was empty, and I didn't see another soul for miles. That night, I camped near a dry creek bed. No problems, but on day 2, just before dusk, I lost the trail. The leaves were thick deep enough to bury stone and dirt. I tried backtracking, but every direction started to blur together. No blazes, no clear landmarks, just trees and silence. My compass twitched in my hand. It didn't spin wildly, just shivered, like the needle couldn't make up its mind. I wasn't panicking yet, but something felt wrong. That's when I saw it. A cabin, half-rotted, small, and crooked, tucked between trees on a slope. No smoke from the chimney, no tire ruts, or FOOTP-ATHS. No mailbox, no reason for it to be there. But what really stopped me were the windows. They were all facing the woods. None faced the clearing. None faced the trail. It was like the house had turned its back on the world. The wall that should have had a porch or a door was pushed against a rise in the earth, and there were no paths leading to it. I should have walked away. But it was getting dark, and if someone was inside, maybe they could help me get my bearings. So I approached, knocked once. The door creaked open slightly. No answer. The air smelled like mildew and old dirt inside. It was nearly empty, just a single wooden chair facing the rear window, looking into the trees. No lights, no furniture, no heat, just silence. And the floor was covered in muddy, bare footprints. Small, human, but wrong. They moved in circles, looping from the chair to the back corner of the room. Over and over, worn paths, like someone had been walking that same route for a long, long time. The walls were scratched, not with knives or claws, but with symbols, twisted shapes that looked like letters but weren't, like something was trying to write a message, and didn't quite know how. That was enough. I turned to leave, and that's when I heard it, upstairs, footsteps, slow, dragging, pacing directly above me. I didn't wait to see who or what was up there. I backed out, shut the door behind me. Then I ran back into the woods, back toward where I thought the trail had been. But something had changed. The landscape felt warped, tilted. The trees leaned in ways they hadn't before. The air felt thicker, like I'd stepped into someone else's territory. I wandered for hours, making wide circles, never finding the trail. Eventually, I gave up and set camp near a fallen log. Didn't build a fire, didn't eat. I just sipped into my bag and prayed for morning. Somewhere after midnight, heard footsteps, not coming toward me, starting next to me, like something had just stood up, inches away. I froze, didn't breathe, didn't move. The footsteps began to circle me. 1, 2, 3 slow arcs, then silence. When dawn came, I opened my eyes. There were muddy, barefoot prints pressed into the tarp around me. No prints leading in, no prints leading out. I packed and started walking. Eventually, near noon, I found the trail, but as I reached the first ridge and turned back one last time, I saw the cabin again. Only now it was facing me. The front had shifted, rotated. The windows looked down the slope. At me, the door was wide open, and in the chair someone was sitting, perfectly still, watching. I didn't stay to see more. I hiked until my legs gave out. I never reported the cabin, never marked it on any map. But every once in a while, when I look at satellite images of that forest, I swear I see it, just barely visible through the canopy, turned slightly more toward me each time. Next time you find a cabin in the woods with no trail leading to it, don't go in. It wasn't made for people like you. It was built to face what lives in the trees. And once you're inside, it learns your path too.
Third story.
My cousin once warned me, if you hear someone whispering your name from a hole in the woods, don't answer. It's not calling you, it's trying to learn how to be you. I laughed when he said it. Now I wish I hadn't. This happened 3 summers ago. My friend Lena and I were exploring the remnants of an old mining town outside Welch, West Virginia. The kind of place you won't find on GPS anymore. The buildings were gone, just vines, broken chimneys, and the skeletons of old trucks half swallowed by moss. We weren't camping properly, just hiking during the day, then sleeping in the back of Lena's SUV at night. But on our second evening, we found a clearing. Too perfect. Flat grass, soft earth, no bugs, a strange ring of small stones around the perimeter, like someone had arranged them, not nature, right in the center. We pitched our tent. That was our first mistake. That night, the forest was wrong. No wind, no frogs, not even crickets. Just a sound deep under the earth. A soft hiss, like breaths slipping through a narrow throat. Constant, subtle, alive. Around 2 a.m. I woke up. There was something else now. A new sound, low, fragile, repeating. I sat up, unzipped the tent. Lena was already outside, barefoot, still. She stood at the edge of the grass, staring down. "Do you hear it?" she whispered. I did, my name, soft, repeating. But it wasn't coming from the woods. It was coming from beneath us. A shallow sinkhole sat just behind our tent, maybe 5 or 6 feet deep. Just a dent in the earth. Damp roots hanging from the ceiling like hair. I shined my light into it. Nothing, no animals, no movement. But the voice continued, whispering my name. Then it changed. Lena, same tone, same rhythm, like someone trying out new words in the same accent. She stepped closer, too close. I grabbed her arm. She didn't blink, just stared into the hole, like it was showing her something. Then the whisper changed again. It spoke neither of our names, just a strange fusion, something halfway between hers and mine, like it was testing combinations. Practicing, I pulled her back, hard. We locked ourselves in the SUV and didn't sleep. By dawn, the hole was gone. Just grass, smooth, undisturbed, except there was a stone where it had been, perfectly centered. Our names were scratched into the surface, hers, mine, no footprints, no tools, just that rock, cold with dew. We left without eating, didn't speak for most of the drive home, but it didn't stop there. A week later, I got a call from Lena's number, but it wasn't her voice. It sounded almost like her, but the way it said, "Hey," like someone who'd never used a voice before. I hung up. That night, she texted me, "Did you just FaceTime me? You didn't say anything." I never called her. Now, at night, I hear it again. Outside my window, not a word, not a whisper, just the shape of my name, like someone trying it. Out. Slowly, carefully, like they're getting better at it. Next time you hear your name coming from the earth, don't listen, don't answer. It hasn't finished learning what you sound like, but once it does, it won't need you anymore.